Hey guys, how's it going? Alright, we're gonna be doing some story mode today. Just, some stuff, you know, chill stuff. I had tried doing story at the very beginning of these streams, but I decided against it, and now I'm doing that, so that's why it looks like I started them, because I did. I don't know if it's gonna continue from where I left off, or start from the beginning. Hopefully it starts from the beginning. Blue. The floor, the ceiling, the furnishings, everything is blue. It's quite unlike what I normally see throughout my day. And yet, my heart is mysteriously calm. I recognize the slight rumbling as an engine and realize that I'm in a car. Or rather, someplace else I recognize.
Welcome to the Velvet Room.
The old man with the bizarre face sitting before me makes an expression that appears to be a smile. Sitting quietly next to the old man is a woman as beautiful and delicate as an ice sculpture.
It seems we have a guest.
I think there might be a cat trapped in my bedroom. Which I did not mean to do. I guess he was in there, and I forgot about it. Yep. My bad. My bad, guy. I didn't realize you were in there. I shut that door like 10 minutes ago, so he wasn't in there for long, but I feel bad that I accidentally shut my cat in there. Alright. My bad.
My name is Igor. I am delighted to make your acquaintance.
The Velvet Room. Igor. Even though I'm barely conscious, I remember that this is not the first time I've heard those names. I see, this is a dream. This happened in the past. Turning up the desktop audio to see if any of it gets captured, because it looks like nothing is getting captured right now. And this is like literally as loud as the game can go now. It was just very quiet. The music wasn't getting picked up at all. And I will show that... Well, I can't show it from this screen, but I do have BGM to 100, so literally as loud as it can go. I might have to adjust some sliders on my actual recording here. And you're getting all the unprofessional things if you're watching this on YouTube later, because when I'm just recording a stream to archive it, I don't care as much. I adjusted the slider a little bit, so it's a little louder now. And I don't know how that sounds, so we'll just roll with that. I see, this is a dream. This happened in the past. I've been in this room before. If my memory is correct, what he says next is...
This place exists between dream and reality, mind and matter. It is a room that only those who are bound by a contract may enter.
Going back to what I was saying before about leaving the unprofessional stuff in, not that my normal videos are professional at all, is what I was gonna say. Like, they're not. My videos are so low effort. I don't edit, so, you know. The major thing I do that's different between the streams and my actual videos is I will occasionally hit pause when I need to adjust things. You're not getting that on streams. Sorry.
It may be that such a fate awaits you in the near future.
The words I expect to hear fall from the old man's mouth. I'm surprised that I still remember them. Another me, the one not in the dream, can't help but smile at that.
Now then, why don't you introduce yourself?
I remember this, too. When I said my name here, it forged a contract with them. And so, I answer... Baby boy, you Narukami. When I open my eyes, the light is so blinding that I have to squint. For a moment, I can't figure out where I am and look around.
Right. I was on my way back.
I mutter to myself and look out the window. The sky is somewhat cloudy, unfortunately, but the scenery is as peaceful as always. It seems that I fell asleep on the train headed to the countryside where I spent the last year, in Inaba. If I recall correctly, when I first came to that town, it was an afternoon just like this. I dozed off in the same way back then and was summoned to the Velvet Room. That was when Igor said that misfortunes would befall me, and just as he foretold, I was dragged into an outrageous murder mystery. That was no ordinary case. The Midnight Channel, shadows, and personas, the powers of the heart. I saw things that could scarcely be believed. But I made memories there that could never be replaced as well. We gained the powers of the personas, and we suffered together. I stood with my friends on the investigation team against these misfortunes, and fought alongside them. Chat message. I can't personally say I believe it. I'm kind of on autopilot reading this text. That's probably, in response to something that the text said, and I do not remember what it said that prompted that. Very cool. There's no way I could have overcome such ordeals without their help.
Wonder what everyone's been up to.
After solving the mystery, it was decided that I would leave Inaba, since my parents would be returning from overseas around the same time. It's been about 2 months since I last saw them all, as they said goodbye to me at that train station. I had decided to stay at the Dojima residence during Golden Week so that I could spend the holiday with my friends! My totally real friends that definitely like me. Of course, my uncle was happy to hear this, and his only daughter, Nanako, should be glad to see me too.
Oh, damn it! I still haven't picked up Yosuke's gift.
Well, it's something quite particular, I guess. Actually, I'd received a call from Teddy, one of my investigation team friends, this morning. The details of the conversation were a bit troublesome.
Hello? Is this Sensei?
Yeah, what's up?
The echo.
I'm really sorry to bring this up, but I forgot to tell you something very important. I have a special request for the souvenirs I'm sure you'll be bringing your bear's friend.
No, you're not getting anything from me, Teddy, I'm sorry. Teddy, I'm pretty sure you're not supposed to tell people what you want them to bring you as souvenirs. I already have souvenirs for everyone, but oh well. Sure enough, Teddy was only asking for some snacks that aren't sold in Inaba, so it wasn't much trouble. But there was one problem.
Oh, and one more thing. Can I ask you to pick up something for Yosuke, too?
Is it something kinky? Probably not.
I was planning on bringing something for everyone anyway, but go ahead.
Cool! Well, Yosuke's been down in the dumps after his mommy burned his favorite nurse.
It is, of course it is. Of course it is. Of course it. Yup, awesome.
She was what I called scorching hot. Just kidding.
You can always count on Yosuke to be horny.
A nurse?
Ah, come on, Sensei. You know what I'm talking about. His nurse magazine with the chest examinations and the bear behinds.
No.
I see. And you expect me to buy him a replacement?
Of People coming to visit are supposed to bring presents.
Teddy, porn is usually not a traditional gift. I don't know if you know that. You might not be familiar with human customs, but you don't normally buy people pornography as a gift, Teddy.
All right. Oh, I was planning to head back tomorrow, but since we're meeting up early, I decided to go back today. Can you pass that on to everyone?
Aha! Then the sexy nurses will be arriving even sooner. It'll be like, Sensei, we have an emergency patient. Yosuke will be so happy.
No.
Okay then, we'll be waiting for you.
I'm a little worried now. I hope he isn't telling everybody something that would give them the wrong idea. Well, I should just call again once I get there. But in the end...
Nurses, huh?
I wasn't able to pick one up for him. How can I put it? I'd feel bad for Yosuke if I gave him that magazine and every time he opened it, his friend's face kept popping up in his head. Nice. And I have to think Yosuke has his pride too. He doesn't need me buying him this stuff. And again, this is Yosuke we're talking about. I'm sure he'll understand if I explain my reasoning. Probably.
Now pulling into Yaso Inaba. This will be the last stop. Yaso Inaba.
Oh.
End of the line already. It looks like I've been asleep for a lot longer than I thought. Just as that thought came to me, a certain worry crossed my mind. If I had a dream of the Velvet Room, does that mean I'm going to be dragged into another adventure? Nah, I shouldn't think such things. I'm overthinking it. Igor had said, I am delighted to make your acquaintance after all, so it's nothing but a dream. It's quite misleading since I've had dreams of being summoned into that room ever since. The train begins to slow, and I take that as my cue to gather my belongings from the luggage rack above me. When the train comes to a complete stop and the doors open, even the smell of wind evokes a sense of nostalgia. I think I'm getting a little too sentimental. I step out to the platform with a very wry smile. Place a bookmark? Sure. I'm standing in front of the train station, but this town is as quiet as it's always been. I realize that the sun has started to set and the orange sky envelops the world.
Now, what should I do?
Today is May 2nd. According to the calendar, the latter half of the holidays will begin tomorrow. I'd told Dojima-san that I was going to arrive today, but it seems he's too busy with work to come get me. Ryotaro Dojima. He's my uncle. I stayed with him last year. He's a detective with the Inaba police, and he's raising his elementary school-aged daughter, Nanako, by himself. It seems he was suddenly contacted by a detective from the Metropolitan Police Department regarding last year's case, and will have to work late. What happened last year was very serious, so I guess it's not too surprising he's so busy. He shouldn't have worried about it. I recall how apologetic he sounded over the phone and can't help smiling. I told him that I knew the way over from the station, but a bag packed with necessities and souvenirs for everyone turns out to be quite a load. Nanako must be waiting for me alone at the house, so I want to get there as soon as possible, too. To be honest, I don't know when the bus will come. Maybe I should just call for a taxi? Just as I'm thinking this...
Huh? Nanako?
Big bro!
It is Nanako! There's no way I'd mistake her.
You came to meet me all on your own?
Why did she come to the station by herself? True, the Dojima residence is within walking distance, but it couldn't have been easy for her. And even though it's still light out right now, it will get dark soon, and the country roads are barely lit. What would she have done if I hadn't been here? I'm about to voice my concerns, but Nanako sounds slightly proud when she says,
Don't worry, Dad knows about it. He gave me money for the bus. He said he couldn't make it, so I came instead. Welcome back, big bro. I wanted to see you so much.
Thanks. I'm happy to see you again, too.
I see. She must have waited. She must have wanted to show me that she's grown up too. She is around that age, after all. For a moment, I'm surprised that Dojima-san let her do this. But I can kind of imagine what kind of conversation took place. Nanako had always been a capable girl, but over the past year her housekeeping skills have improved greatly, and she's proven herself to be very reliable. She takes the lead in many things within the house, and even Dojima-san can't compete with her sometimes. I wish I could read words better, man. I can easily imagine that scene in my mind. And it's true that I'm glad someone came to welcome me. I take Nanako's hand, and we begin walking side by side.
Well, no sense standing around here. What's in the fridge at home?
Lots. Dad and I bought a ton of stuff since you were coming to visit.
If Nanako says so, then he really must have bought a lot. Dojima-san did say he'd pick up dinner for us, but if that's the case, maybe I should put together something to go with it. I ask Nanako what she wants to eat, and she looks back with a twinkle in her eyes.
Are you gonna cook dinner? Ooh, I wanna help.
Nanako and I make small talk while we walk through Inaba together for the first time in a little while. Being here like this makes me feel as if I've gone back in time to a year ago. After we get back to the Dojima home, I hurry and unpack my belongings before heading to the kitchen. Nanako helps me out as diligently as she had claimed earlier. The way she mixes the eggs seems more skillful than before. You're such a good girl, Nanako.
Good evening. This is the Evening Journal with news for May 2nd. Our top story is on the domestic airline that was hijacked yesterday.
The TV in the living room echoes through the house. Thinking back on it, it was on quite often in this place. When I first came to Inaba, Nanako was practically being raised by the television. There had been this odd sense of distance between us around that time. She hadn't started calling me Big Bro, and we didn't cook together like we're doing now. It's the little things that bring back memories. Right as we're about done making dinner, Dojima-san arrives with some deluxe sushi. Nanako quickly gets up and rushes to the door. She seems so happy when her father comes home. Dojima-san apologizes about the sudden increase in his workload, and then we all sit at the table and begin eating. Being here like this makes me feel like the 2 months I was gone never happened at all. There's a warm atmosphere, as if I've always been a part of this family and have lived here with them for my entire life. I thank both of them from deep in my heart, and after I give them the souvenirs I'd bought for them, we enjoy chatting with each other as a family.
Phew.
I just realized, I never prefaced anything in regards to the YouTube audience before starting this. If you're currently watching my Persona 4 Golden playthrough, and you don't know the story of Persona 4 Golden, and you're watching this now, because I'm going to upload it probably like tomorrow or something, which will be today, the day that I uploaded it, for anyone watching on YouTube. That's slightly confusing. Anyway, what I was going to say is this game, this is the Arena story, the story of the original Persona 4 Arena, and Ultimax is the sequel to that. So like, Ultimax has both stories, but Arena was its own game, and then Ultimax came out and included the story from Arena within it. So if you hadn't played Arena, you didn't need to go buy Arena, you could just play Ultimax. Anyway, the Arena story is a direct sequel to Persona 4 Golden. And then Ultimax continues from the arena story. So, if you're watching this, and you don't know the story of Persona 4 Golden, maybe wait until I finish that, or go watch someone else play it, or play it yourself, or whatever, before watching this, because you'll get spoilers otherwise. Yeah. Anyway, moving forward. Phew. Another familiar room. This is the room that was prepared for me on the second floor of the Dojima residence. Nanako had fallen asleep after all the excitement. After carrying her to her room, I tell my uncle that I'll be going to bed early as well, since I have plans. All he said was, okay, gesturing toward the second floor. I'm a little perplexed by this, but I have my suspicions. And as I open the door to my old room, it seems I was right. The room is no different than it had been when I was living here. It's exactly the same as it was when I left Inaba. I closed the door with a feeling of wistfulness. Man's telling me he left all this manga behind. That's a no-go from me, man. You do not leave your manga behind. As I sit down on my sofa and consider my uncle's thoughtfulness, I sigh in exhaustion from the long journey. I'll be able to see my friends tomorrow. Considering that there are still several days left in this holiday, it may be nice to leave early tomorrow and go visit the shopping district.
It's raining.
The time is just before midnight. In mere moments, it will be a new day. Whenever it rains at night, I end up checking the time. While I spent the last year in Inaba, I was always checking for the midnight channel, which was a popular urban legend here in Inaba. It's a bad habit of mine even when I'm not here. If you look at a turned-off TV at midnight on a rainy night, you will see your soulmate. Discovering that this rumor was actually true was the first reason why I became involved in the murder investigation last year. But the person who actually appears on the Midnight Channel isn't your soulmate. It's the next victim. After discovering this, we all nervously sat before our TVs on rainy nights in order to solve the case.
That brings back some memories. Nothing will show anymore, though.
That's where you're wrong. Will nothing really appear, though? I suddenly have doubts. Why would I think that? After we solved that case, we all confirmed that the Midnight Channel wasn't appearing anymore. The empty screen stays silent. So, why?
Just in case.
It's not going to turn on, there's no way. The more I think about it, the more I feel my resolve fading. I peer into the TV screen as if something is drawing me into it. The only thing I see is my reflection in the dark glass of the CRT television. Or so I thought.
Rivals. They are friends, yet powerful foes. The desperate fighting program amongst high school students. A new legend is about to start.
May the manliest of all men come on down!
Nobody touches his precious Nanako, the sister complex kingpin of steel, you Narukami!
It's only natural.
Wage slave in the boonies by day, hero by night, Captain Resentiment, Yosuke Hanamura!
Everything that bores me has gotta go!
A spunky dragon with deadly legs, the carnivore who's discarded womanhood, Chie Satonaka!
You need to eat more meat!
Please escort me to the ring, my prince, the unconquerable Snow Black, Yukiko Amagi!
I'll finish you in one strike!
Blooming roses and bulging muscles, the blood-curdling beefcake emperor, Kanji Tatsumi!
Deep into realms of romance!
The body of a child, the brain of a genius, the 2000 IQ killjoy detective, Naoto Shirogane!
Is this an army of idiots?
Fight and survive towards the one throne waiting at the end! The P-1 Grand Prix, where fierce fights will be fought! The battle begins tonight!
Man, that cutscene's so hype.
What on earth was that?
What? Sister Complex Kingpin of Steel?
Was that me? Sister Complex Kingpin of Steel. I'm impressed. There's so much wrong with that phrase, I don't know where to begin. No, I shouldn't be thinking about that. Those words aren't the problem here. I hurry to make sure that the TV isn't plugged in. That was the Midnight Channel. What it was actually showing was rather ridiculous, but thinking back, everything the Midnight Channel showed last year didn't make much sense either. I'm suddenly gripped by tension. If the Midnight Channel is appearing again, I have to find out why. I pull out my cell phone and search for Yosuke's number.
Let's see, H. Hanamura Yosuke.
I quickly hit the call button. Does everyone know about this? Is everyone aware that the Midnight Channel is still being broadcasted? Do they know what it's showing? That it's showing us? And that we've been given taglines that can only be described as uncharitable?
Hello, this is Yosuke.
Yosuke?
It's nothing. I just freaked out when you called all of a sudden. Yeah, that's it. What's up? Hey, when do you want to meet?
I can tell what's going on just by the sound of his voice. Yosuke knows about what's happened on the Midnight Channel just now, and he's trying to hide that from me. Considering that I've been out of Inaba for a while, I bet he's trying to keep me from worrying about it. There's no need for him to be concerned about that. Then again, I can kind of understand how he feels. I am his friend after all.
That's not why I was calling. I saw the Midnight Channel. You saw it too, right?
Uh-huh.
I can easily hear Yosuke panicking on the other side of the phone. He's probably surprised that I saw the Midnight Channel when I shouldn't even be in Inaba right now. He must be thinking that the Midnight Channel is now appearing on a national TV network. Looks like Teddy didn't tell them after all.
Did Teddy not tell you? Since we're meeting up early tomorrow, I decided to come today. I figured you wouldn't think I could have seen it, so I gave you a call.
Well, I assumed you weren't here yet, so I didn't want to rely on you.
You haven't changed. So how about it? You're not gonna leave this be, are you, Captain Resentiment?
Why'd you zero in on that part? Did you see how they called you a Sister Complex Kingpin?
Nah, that one's just funny. Yours is sad.
Mine's not that bad.
You think? Oh, I ought to tell you, that program's not the only strange thing lately. Teddy, Rise, and Kanji aren't here either. They disappeared.
Sussy. For a moment, I'm at a loss for words. Not only has the Midnight Channel come back on, we've lost contact with 3 of our friends? I have a bad feeling about this. I can't believe that those 2 things are unrelated.
Alright, we should get together tomorrow like we planned.
Yeah, at the Jeunesse food court. Welcome back, partner.
I'm suddenly reminded that I haven't even greeted Yosuke yet. I finally feel the sense of worry fade a little, and I answer with a smile.
It's good to be here.
No matter what has happened, our friends may be in danger. If that's so, then there's only one thing to do. Speaking of things I have to do...
Oh, right. Sorry to say, I forgot to pick up your souvenir.
A souvenir? Don't even worry about it, man.
You sure? I thought you were really looking forward to it.
Oh no.
Those nurses.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Nurses?
I had a feeling he wouldn't get it if I don't tell him flat out. This is rather hard to bring up, but oh well.
Yeah, Teddy asked me to get it for you. He said you were crushed that they got burned.
Oh, wait, this is all...
I didn't know you were into nurses.
Jesus freaking Christ.
Shut up! That's enough! Damn it, you're trying to wind me up, aren't you? Stay home, you jerk.
But I'm already here. Well, I'll see you tomorrow.
At least it seems like he understands about his souvenir. In any case, the preparations have been made. Tomorrow I'll meet with everyone to sort through whatever information we have on this situation. If we have to, we'll go back into that world. It would be best if this was all just our imaginations. But unfortunately, we know that the Midnight Channel wouldn't have appeared without a reason. I should make sure I'm ready for tomorrow and get some rest. This place is as lively as always. I look across the food court on Junessa's roof for the first time in a while. Even though there aren't many people in Inaba, this place is exceptionally crowded. Plus, because it's Golden Week as well, I feel like it's busier than usual. I happen to run into Yosuke at the elevators. We briefly greet each other. Guys are weird like that. The closer we are, the more simple our interactions when we meet each other face to face. The two of us stepped out to the food court. We immediately find Yukiko and Chie. They wave back at us, past the playground area from the bench they're sitting on.
Good to see you guys again.
Welcome back! We missed you! The guest of honor's finally here! You're looking well. Welcome back. Should we...
Huh? Oh, he already knows about the Midnight Channel thing. He's actually the one who called me up about it.
Oh, I see. This has turned into a pretty thrown-together reunion, hasn't it? But I'm glad you came.
We chat some more while we all sit down. Then Yosuke stands up and clears his throat loudly. He's probably been waiting for the right moment to say something. He hasn't mentioned anything to me, but I can easily guess what he's about to say. We all look towards Yosuke.
Well, it sucks that we can't hang out more before jumping into another mystery, but to celebrate our partner's return, I hereby reinstate the investigation team in response to the Midnight Channel going back on the air last night.
Oh, the team is back! Just hearing that name again gets me all fired up. Yeah, let's do this!
I don't think the applause is necessary.
Why not? It's been 2 months since we last saw each other, after all. Chie and Yukiko start chuckling when I shrug, and though Yosuke seems saddened at that, he still ends up laughing along as well. It's a relief to see that they're still the same as always, but because of that, it makes me even more worried about the friends that aren't here right now. We can't start slacking off. We begin to sort through the information that we know about already.
Well, let's get cracking. I mean, this is no laughing matter. No one's heard from Teddy, Kanji, or Rise. Just those three, right?
Yeah. Oh, I got a hold of Naoto-kun, but I didn't tell her about this stuff. She told me she couldn't make it today because of her job, so I didn't want to worry her. She seemed pretty bummed that she couldn't be here too.
If she has a reason for not being here and we can still contact her, then Naoto should be fine. That leaves Teddy, Rise, and Kanji. Not hearing back from them after an entire day has passed isn't normal at all. The relationship between their sudden disappearances and the reappearance of the Midnight Channel last night disturbs me.
One thing's been bothering me. The picture on the TV was very clear last night.
Yeah. Going by the pattern from last year, it wouldn't be that clear until after the victim entered the TV.
Hey, isn't this the first time a big group of people was shown together? Plus, we're still here.
Why us anyway? And what's up with those insulting descriptions?
Chie seems pretty angry about it. Many of the locals know about the rumor of the Midnight Channel. In other words, this troubling broadcast has already been seen by who knows how many people. From what I've been told, the moment Chie tried to ask another student about the Midnight Channel, the other girl ran away with a look of fear on her face. It's no surprise that Chie would be angry. But in the end...
What bothers me most is Teddy. He was acting like the host of that show.
Yeah, we can't find him.
This smells fishy. Then again, I doubt he would play a prank like this for no reason.
I guess we'll just have to go inside the TV and find out what's going on.
That's right. Go inside the TV. Out of everything, that was the element that shook our common sense the most out of everything we experienced last year. Actually, the murders in last year's events happened in another world inside the television. this world is filled with monsters called shadows that are born from people's hearts. Because my friends and I gained personas, the power to defeat these shadows, we were able to enter the TV screens and fight them.
Won't we be stuck in there without Teddy to give us an exit?
But even we persona users would find it extremely difficult to leave that world on our own. In order to come back, we need the exit TV that our friend Teddy was capable of creating.
Not so. I've had Teddy keep the exit TV out on that side.
Look at you, all prepared.
I mean, think about it. What if we were half asleep and fell into a TV when Teddy wasn't over there? Isn't that a scary thought?
Like anyone would be that clumsy.
Yosuke would.
Anyway, it sounds like it's safe for us to go investigate then.
No matter what the reason, it's reassuring to know that we have an exit strategy ready for us. To be honest, I almost fell into it the first time it appeared in my room, after all.
Yeah, there's no doubt that something's going on in there. Is everyone ready?
We're all good to go. To tell the truth, I had a hunch that this was going to happen.
We all share a look to confirm our intentions. All of them nod back. I can see the seriousness in their eyes. Even though there was a 2-month gap since I last saw them, they still continue to put their trust in me. I feel a slight sense of pride as I stand up from the bench. The large screen TV in the electronics department is directly below the food court. That was the entrance we always used last year.
All right. It's a holiday, so the store's full of people.
The other one. Well, it's a bit more pricey.
Feel like things are picking up around town.
That's enough. It's time to go. Hello. All the models are on sale right now.
You know, it's been a while since last time.
I'm a little nervous. Whoa! Wait! There are still people in this aisle!
Hey! Get ready! The customers are going away!
Again.
Let's go!
Yeah!
Nowadays, this would be caught on camera, and, like, anyone who watches the camera would just be like...
Usual? Oh no! What do we do?
What can we do? We can't stop now!
I hear a voice. It's a woman's voice. It sounds familiar to me. This voice is...
Welcome to the Velvet Room.
Margaret. I don't sense that distinctive floating feeling that I usually have when I enter the TV world. When I concentrate, I realize that I must be sitting in a chair. The moment I open my eyes, I see vibrant blue. The Velvet Room. I visited this place an untold number of times last year, and once more in my dreams already. In my dreams yesterday. Can't read words. That was my brain finished the sentence before my eyes actually read the word. Because I'm cool like that. But I said the wrong word because of it. So, you know, maybe not that cool, but... I never thought I would return to this place.
Huh? It's not a dream this time? What's going on? Didn't my contract end already?
Igor, who usually sits front and center, is nowhere to be seen. The one to greet me is the woman with silver hair, Margaret. Could this be a personal summoning, then? That happened a few times last year, too. Margaret smiles as if she senses my suspicions.
This room is tied to your fate. Nothing that occurs here is meaningless.
Well, I got news for you, Margaret. My fate is pretty freaking meaningless. Nihilism.
Though you reached an end to one journey, you now find yourself here again. This shows that you will once again be faced with a question.
A question? And something really is going on?
Another mystery has appeared, and we are about to be dragged into it again. Could that be what she means?
From here on, what befalls you will upset your status quo. It is true that you've opened the door once already, but all things change. Nothing ever remains the same. What you gained before will change over time as well. You will have to face them once again.
Face them? Again?
The first thing that Margaret's words stir up in my mind is the sight of my friends' smiling faces. Is that going to change? No, that can't be true. And face them again? That's impossible. Once I wake up and leave this room, I should still be with my friends. There's no need to jump to conclusions. Margaret appears to have anticipated my thoughts and smiles while narrowing her eyes.
Show me how you will proceed down the path that awaits beyond the door you've opened.
Okay, Margaret. My vision wavers and the blue light before me vanishes quickly. Wait. I still need to know what you mean by those words.
Where am I?
Where did I get thrown to when I left that blue room? The scenery is so unexpected that I'm at a loss. This is a school. It's the music room of Yasugami High. I attended this school with my friends until recently. There's no mistaking it. We entered the TV together, so why am I here? No, that's not right.
This is... No, wait. This has to be the TV world.
The graffiti on the ground. Shoes placed like they're for some ritual. The eerily shining eyes of the portraits on the wall. The more carefully I look, the more I realize that this place is not the real Yasugami High. Most of all, I sense no warmth from this place, like I always did from the students who would come and go from here. This is a fake. It's definitely not the school I attended. What happened to turn the world inside the TV to this? On top of that, we entered the TV from our usual entrance, but I ended up in a completely different place.
This has never happened before.
I also realized that my friends aren't with me either. Did we somehow get separated? I start to feel chills down my spine and I look around.
Hello! Sorry for the wait. Greetings, boys and girls of Yasugami. The P-1 Grand Prix is about to begin. There's no need for manners or courtesy or anything today, so let it all hang out. Tell us how you really feel.
What the...
Is that you, Rise? I shout out questions, but she doesn't answer. This is Rise Kujikawa, one of our friends on the investigation team that we couldn't contact. Does she not hear me, or is she choosing not to respond? As I ask myself this, I hear different voices echoing as well. I look around in surprise. These voices, it's not just from one or two people. I see countless students staring at me from the hallways, the entrance, everywhere I turn.
May I have your attention, please? I, Rosette, will be your commentator. But first, the General has a few words for you all.
What's going on? Why are there so many people inside the TV world? Before I can think of any answers, Rise makes another announcement. And, as if on cue, the monitor in the music room turns on. What appeared on it was Teddy. He was wearing a strange hat and cape, just like he did on the Midnight Channel last night. First Rise, and now Teddy? What are they doing?
You're all here now. Well then, I'm proud to announce
again. That's the same bizarre tournament that was shown on the Midnight Channel. And is Teddy really the one behind this insanity?
Teddy, what's going on here? We came to look for you and Rise and...
Always with the talking, Sensei. It's a big waste of time. Less talk and more fighting. With the next challenger, come on down.
Teddy looks away and makes a dismissive gesture. Smoke suddenly bursts out from underneath me and robs me of any visibility. Is there someone beyond that white curtain? Eventually, my field of vision begins to clear. I keep my guard up, expecting anything. But who should appear but Yosuke? Though I hadn't expected to run into him like this, I'm relieved to see that he's safe. Teddy did say something about a challenger just a moment ago. I recall that the P-1 Grand Prix that appeared on the Midnight Channel looked a lot like some kind of fighting competition. Wait, am I supposed to fight Yosuke now? That's not funny at all.
Great. They're expecting you and me to fight.
Looks like. Sheesh, what's Teddy thinking?
Starting that up already? I won't let you get all buddy-buddy with each other. These battles are fought to the death. Only the victor can proceed.
This joke's gone on far enough, Teddy. We're not gonna play along with that.
I look over at Yosuke, hoping that he would agree with me. But he doesn't appear interested in what I have to say.
Oh, really? I guess he should declare me the winner then.
Yosuke?
What? You don't plan on fighting, right? That means I win by default.
That was not what I was expecting to hear. What's gotten into you, Yosuke? Do you have some reason to be talking like this? I can't figure out what's going on. Yosuke continued to speak in a carefree manner. It said something that I simply couldn't believe.
Oh, but is that okay with you? I mean, since Nanako-chan's here and all?
Nanako's here?
Wait, really? You haven't seen her? She's with Teddy.
That can't be. I saw Nanako back at the house when I left this morning. And even then, Nanako can't enter the TV world on her own. But she's in this world? I can't believe it for a moment. But what if it's true? Just coming into this world can tire a person out very quickly. On top of that, if someone who can't use a persona comes here, it can sometimes even be fatal.
Where is she? Yosuke, where's Nanako?
Whoa, what's gotten into you, partner? No need to get hysterical.
Why are you so calm about this? You know what happened to her last time she came here.
Nanako did come into this world once last year. It was not something any one of us would have wanted to happen. That was the start of a whole chain of events. Remembering them is heart-wrenching, even now. So why? No, even then it might be wrong for me to lash out at Yosuke for the way he's acting. Calm down. I need to think straight here. Alright, I'm choosing to withhold my but I can only think gay joke. Choosing to withhold that. All Yosuke said was that he saw her with Teddy. Then, was Nanako brought here by Teddy if he's the leader of this tournament?
Yosuke, be straight with me. Are you sure Nanako is with Teddy?
How should I know? If I had to guess, I'd say she's probably still with him. Man, are you alright? Are you that worried about Nanako-chan? It's no wonder people look at you funny, thinking you have a sister complex.
The sense of wrongness that I've been feeling since this whole time is getting even stronger. True, Yosuke may say some insensitive things, but mostly that's because he reads too much into a situation and acts out over it. He's not the type of guy to enjoy making hurtful remarks like this.
Yosuke, are you alright?
Huh? What are you talking about? I should be the one saying that to you. She's not even your real sister. All that big bro stuff really creeps me out. It was a while ago that I saw her. It's probably too late to save her now. You know how things went last year, after all.
Yosuke.
He's definitely not the Yosuke I know. Yosuke is my friend. He wouldn't be so callous as that. At least, I thought so up until now. He was the one who had to face the pain of losing someone he cared about when the murder first started last year. I can't hate him for accidentally mentioning someone who was dead, but the way he's acting, he's doing this on purpose. I silently draw my sword and face Yosuke.
Draw your weapon. You'll get your fight.
What? Dude, what are you saying? You told me you'd let me win by default.
To be honest, I'd been thinking that this Yosuke before me was some kind of fake. I even wondered if something had happened to him and Yosuke's shadow had appeared again in this world. But this wrongness that I keep sensing is nothing like that. This probably is the real Yosuke. And the strangeness I feel is because these words really are coming out of the mouth of someone I never thought would say them. So then...
I don't know if you're being controlled or if there's something else going on here. Either way, you must understand the best way to resolve the situation.
There's no way to tell if what I'm saying is getting through to him at all. But if I want to figure out what's going on, I'll just have to fall for this trap once.
Sorry, but I'm gonna go all out. No hard feelings.
Huh? All that talk and you're gonna fight against your partner after all? Well, whatever. Let's hurry up and get this started. Ready?
Fight! Alright, let's do it. We're gonna kick Yosuke's ass. Man. I need to invest in better lighting. Oh, shit. I'm definitely not warmed up right now. It's fine. Okay. At the same time that I don't think I was warmed up for that fight, I also think that I'm getting progressively worse every time I play this game. It's very cool.
Amazing, Sensei! Keep that up and zoom on ahead!
Ahead? You're gonna continue with this? Teddy, about Nanako.
I don't want to spoil the surprise. If you want to find out, you'll have to get to me! And I can't say why, but I think you should hurry.
The monitor shuts off. I still haven't learned anything about Nanako. But he did seem to have been expecting me to ask about her. I don't want to think about it, but Nanako really may be here. The moment the monitor turned off, the students began to leave like the waves in the receding tide. No, they don't look like students anymore. They're something inhuman, just taking the shape of students. I was too focused on the fight to notice, but it seems their true forms were coming through. They look like silhouettes. Could they be shadows? Even so, I don't sense any hostility from them. Well, if they're not a threat and they're going away, there's no need to chase after them. Besides, there's something more important to do right now.
Are you alright?
I walk towards where Yosuke lies collapsed on the ground, give him my hand to help him up.
Ow! Couldn't you hold back a little? I seriously thought you were gonna kill me.
The same went for you. I wouldn't have stood a chance if I held back on you.
Yosuke grimaces in pain as he stands, but he doesn't seem to have suffered any severe injuries. That's good. I knew I couldn't risk going easy on him, so I was a little worried that I'd actually hurt him. But once we get a good look at each other, Yosuke's demeanor suddenly changes.
Anyway, that aside, shut up about the nurses already. It's not like that's the only thing I ever think about.
What's this about nurses?
Huh? You were harping on it the whole time. How can you stand there and constantly bash my taste in women with a straight face? Is it such a crime to like nurses?
Wait a second.
I don't understand why he's suddenly angry, but he's not making any sense at all. I tell Yosuke to calm down and we go over what he thought had happened before the fight. We learned that our memories of what each of us had been saying didn't match up at all. According to Yosuke, it seems that I'd been, well, teasing him about his taste in women. Yosuke was so heated up over what I'd supposedly said that he almost went into graphic detail, but I stopped him before things went too far. I mean, really, it's best for the both of us if we pretend this never happened. But thanks to our conversation after the battle, I've come to realize something. If we'd been hearing each other say things neither of us had been meaning to say, then...
Yosuke, let me ask you something. Is it true that Nanako is here in this world?
She is?
Yosuke is at a loss for words. He had no idea what I was talking about. It's just as I thought. Yosuke doesn't know anything about Nanako. If that's true, then what I heard Yosuke saying before the fight was something that Yosuke couldn't have possibly said. This only makes me more convinced that I have the right idea. What I had heard wasn't what Yosuke meant to say. I don't know how, but something else had made Yosuke say those words, even if he didn't know he was saying them. That reminds me that Teddy on the screen had said that I needed to get to him if I wanted to find out the truth. Does that mean that Teddy had done this to us?
I guess there's no choice but to keep going.
Nanako is good friends with Teddy. I don't want to imagine it happening, but if he wanted to kidnap her, it's certainly possible he could have. I want to go home at once and check to make sure she's okay, but I have no idea where I am. Even worse, Teddy holds the means of returning to... Even worse, Teddy holds the means of returning to the real world. There's no way out of here unless I find him on my own.
Taking off?
Yeah.
Well, be careful.
Be careful. I'm worried about you. Do your best. I sense a lot of emotions behind those words. Yes, I know now that I'm hearing the real Yosuke. I take Yosuke's cheering me on to heart and leave the music room. Teddy had said that only the winner could go on in this tournament. I didn't know exactly what that means, but it's probably not a lie. Yosuke understands that as well. That's why he's trusting me to sort it all out and lets me go without much talk. He's frustrated that he can't help me out. I could be just jumping to conclusions there. After all, Teddy did say that that was the rule, but we don't have any proof either way. Well, I might as well see what he meant by that. I stopped walking and turned back to Yosuke.
One last thing. About those nurses.
Jesus Christ.
Quit it already! Are you out of your mind again?
Yosuke turns bright red and rushes toward me, flailing wildly in an attempt to stop me from finishing. And... there's a painful sounding noise as he runs into something invisible and slowly slides to the floor.
What is this?
So there's an invisible wall. Looks like the loser can't leave the room.
Looks like there's some force that prevents the loser from leaving the area where the fight took place. It's likely that every time one of these battles happens here, the winner will get sorted out this way. That's annoying.
I see how it works now. Thanks.
If Teddy really has kidnapped Nanako, there's no time to lose.
Don't use me as your guinea pig. Wait, that's it? Hey, don't wear yourself out, alright?
I turn away as Yosuke shouts at me. Not to worry, Yosuke. I give him a quick smile before leaving the area for real this time. At that moment, I feel a wave of disorientation crash over me. I'm surprised that this is happening without warning, but it's not a threat. After all, I know this feeling too well.
Welcome to the Velvet Room.
I'd been leaving the music room, but now I'm sitting in the Velvet Room for some reason. Margaret greets me with her usual smile. This room truly is mysterious. But why would she summon me like this? Margaret sees my suspicious expression and speaks up.
Things have only just begun, and yet you already seem tired. The misfortune that has befallen you can be thought of as a sort of trial.
A trial?
I want to know the details behind her words, but I know that she won't answer me even if I ask. The inhabitants of the Velvet Room never reveal anything. Or reveal everything. That's because they can only watch over the choices their guests make. Margaret's smile broadens when she sees that I don't intend to ask her anything.
Indeed. I am an observer on your journey. I would do nothing so thoughtless as to force you to make choices. You do not need such provocations. I already know that you shine brilliantly enough.
This shine she speaks of. Could it be about my ability to use personas?
Yes, that is part of your brilliance. Personas are masks of resolution, strengthened by controlling one's heart, by forming bonds. You understand this well, don't you?
Yeah, that's how we all fought up till now.
Yes, indeed. But one's heart is intangible. It cannot be seen and cannot be felt. When polished, it releases a strong light unlike anything else. But it can also be clouded by trivial things. Have you ever felt that way?
That may be true.
You may be more conscious of that fact than most, because you hold the power of the wild card.
Margaret's voice fades away as she answers me.
From here on, you will be forced to re-examine the things you know as bonds. How will you face the changes to come, and what choices will you make?
When I open my eyes again, I'm in the school's hallway. I turn around and see the door to the music room behind me. Closed behind me. Was I only summoned to the Velvet Room in spirit? There's no way for me to figure out what just happened, but I think back on what Margaret had told me.
The changes, huh?
Even though the people of the Velvet Room avoid saying much, what little they do have to say always has a meaning. Well, it's true that Margaret has said some strange things while I've known her. But she's never said anything meaningless while on duty. I would assume that this would be the case now. Sorry, my bad. I may have to keep her words to heart. Saving. In any case, I need to concentrate on this case for now. I'm sure I'll understand the meaning behind what she said when the time comes. I must proceed. Though this bizarre place looks nothing like the Yasugami High I attended, the building seems strangely familiar as I run through it. Teddy had appeared on the monitor in the music room. From the looks of things, he appeared to be behind what was happening. But I'd heard Risei's voice over the school's PA system before my fight with Yosuke. If this school works anything like a real one, I can make a good guess as to where Teddy and Risei are.
It might be the announcement room.
But of course, things aren't that easy. Those invisible walls keep getting in my way wherever I go. It seems that some of these walls don't let anybody through, no matter if they won or lost their fights. Every single time I run into one, I'm forced to take another path. It's like my route is already set for me.
I feel like I'm being led somewhere.
I stop for a moment in the hallway, out of the practice building, and mutter to myself while I take a look around. Where are they trying to lead me? At that moment...
You there! You're one of them participants in that there Grand Prix thing, right?
A voice that I don't recognize at all breaks me from my reverie. I instinctively jump back and draw my sword in surprise.
Whoa! What's the big idea? You could poke someone's eye out swinging that thing around.
I turn and see a girl that I've never seen before. Was she part of that crowd? No, she looks like a real person. She was caught by surprise when I suddenly pointed my weapon at her. Although she flinches, her words don't lose any of their intensity. How bold of her. That may seem like an odd thing to say, but it's what suddenly crosses my mind. But this girl doesn't seem to have any intention of attacking me. I sheath my sword, but remain cautious.
Sorry, I didn't mean to startle you.
Sorry ain't gonna cut it. What were you gonna do if you hurt one of the students here, huh? You can't go pulling that stuff without student council approval. Alright, the jig is up. I'm putting the kibosh on this tournament right now.
Hey, wait, hold on a second. I'm not in this because I want to be. I'm trying to stop the tournament.
I'm trying to act non-threatening, but the girl continues to glare at me. Who in the world is this girl? She's wearing a Yasogami High uniform. She said something about the student council? But I don't recognize her. You don't encounter people here in this world that often. If a person is here, then they're either a persona user or a...
Why are you here, by the way? Wait, did you fall inside a TV?
That's right. I might have put it a little differently, but if she can't enter a TV herself, the only possibility is that someone threw her in. That's what was happening in the murders from last year.
All inside a TV. What kind of nonsense is that?
She's not aware of it. But if she was a persona user, I don't see why she'd hide that fact. If she was trying to keep that from me, then she wouldn't have come to talk to me like this. Then does that mean she's a victim after all? I carefully choose my words to avoid provoking the girl and introduce myself.
I'm Yu Narukami. I was a second year at Yasogami High until last year.
Huh? Last year? But that uniform.
Oh no, this is kind of my usual equipment when I'm in the TV world.
Didn't need to put the uniform on, but you know, whatever.
Equipment?
Never mind. Forget it.
Well, if you were only around till last year, I ain't gonna blame you for not knowing. I'm the new student council president. Nice meeting you.
The student council president. If I'm remembering correctly, the student council election should have taken place just before the holidays. I have no knowledge who won any of those elections since I'd left Inaba before they took place. That reminds me, I didn't have any friends on the student council last year either. This girl may very well be the president. No reason not to believe her.
Now it's your turn to spill. You said you ain't in the tournament because you wanna be. Then what are you doing here? And what's this tournament about in the first place?
I feel that if I don't explain things very clearly to her, it will only provoke her further. But trying to tell her everything about what's going on here will only confuse her. I leave out the fact that this place is inside a television and tell her about the other things that are going on. First, I tell her about Teddy, that a friend of mine is likely the one who set this tournament up. Second, that I encountered some of my friends who were dragged into this as well, but they were acting strangely. And third, that my cousin Nanako, still in elementary school, may have been dragged into this mess. The girl calling herself the student council president seems skeptical while I talk, but eventually she sighs.
So if I got this right, you didn't start this, but your friend did. Well, you don't seem like you're lying.
It seems that she somehow grasped the gist of what I was trying to say. I thank her out of politeness, but she laughs and asks why I'm thanking her. There's still one more difficult task left at hand. How do I make her understand that all of this is within another world, one accessed by going through a TV screen? She still appears to be energetic, but it doesn't change the fact that she's in danger. I have to get her out of this world no matter what. Where did that sound come from?
Hey, that sounded like it came from the gym. I ought to tell you to go home, but I get that you're worried about your sis. Come on, let's go check it out.
We both start running at the same time. I reach my full running speed when something occurs to me. I'm surprised to see this Miss President keeping pace right beside me. Just standing still in this world would be strenuous for a normal person, but she doesn't even seem to be out of breath. She's quite impressive. Take a moment to quietly praise the girl running next to me. We burst into the gym where all the noise came from, but there's no one here. Instead, we see huge piles of stacked chairs. They're twisted and intertwined everywhere on the open floor of the gym, forming huge towers that almost reach to the ceiling.
What is this? Who'd go to all this trouble?
The girl stares up at the chairs, seemingly dumbfounded. Suddenly, the monitor in the gym flickers to life. As I expected, Teddy appears, again in that costume.
Oh, are you on a hot date, Sensei? Well, that's fine with me, of course. But shouldn't you keep your mind on the fighting? Wow, you look so mortified. That's the face I was hoping to see.
He's not saying anything completely straight, but he's obviously hinting that he knows I'm worried about Nanako. I know that saving Nanako is important, but I can't leave Miss President here alone and abandon her to this world either. Still, I feel Teddy's words causing me to doubt myself. And Miss President raises her voice.
Hey, you! You're the ringleader of this mess, aren't you? What's the idea? Raising a ruckus like this without running it by the student council. Pack it in and clean all this up already.
She speaks fast and clearly as she had when I first met her. After getting a clear look at her, I feel like I've come to realize where she gets her courage from. She truly wishes to protect her school. Her strong awareness of her duty is surpassing her fear. But Teddy on the monitor looks annoyed and sneers at Miss President. It's incredibly detestable. I can't believe that Teddy can even make such a malicious expression.
What's that tiny thing? I'm in the middle of an important conversation with Sensei. A yappy little mutt like you should be muzzled and sit in the corner. Sit, puppy, sit!
He has absolutely no intent of dealing with her seriously. Miss President turns bright red in humiliation from being brushed off like that. This is enough. I take a step forward to put myself between the monitor and Miss President. Leave this to me.
I'll take it from here. It's all right. There's nothing to worry about.
Miss President's lips are trembling. She must be angry that there's nothing she can do herself. I don't want that anger to be in vain, so I turn to face the Teddy on the monitor.
It was pretty harsh, Teddy. Hard to believe a womanizer like you would say such things.
What's so attractive about a shameless liar like her?
Liar? Do you know something about her?
The way he said that makes it sound as if there's some history between the two of them. But as usual, he doesn't bother to give any details in his answer.
Sensei, your opponent's getting tired of waiting for you. With the next challenger, come on down!
After that line, another cloud of smoke rises from the floor. But this time it's Yukiko who appears.
Oh, thank goodness you're safe. What's the matter?
It's nothing. Are you all right? Has anything odd happened to you?
Odd? No, I don't think so.
Yukiko seems alarmed to see me in a defensive posture. I feel my shoulders relax in relief as I shift my weight to stand normally. It seems that she hasn't been affected like Yosuke had. I didn't think I'd been that tense, though. Now, that's the Yukiko I remember. She's as sharp as always, exactly when we need her. If she's not being confused, then I can immediately ask her for help. I try to explain what I need from her.
Nanako might be in here. I'm heading to the announcement room where Teddy is. I need you to protect this girl from me. She might be a victim of all this.
I motion toward Miss President, standing next to me. Yukiko looks at me in surprise. I don't blame her, though. But what Yukiko said next was even more surprising.
Why do I have to do that? It's not like I know her or anything.
I'm not going to help her because I don't know her? Is that really what she's saying? I can understand that she might be cautious when meeting someone for the first time, but would Yukiko really think that way? It's gotta be the same as with Yosuke. That same uncanny sense of wrongness is coming back to me when I hear Yukiko speak.
Yukiko, not you too. Calm down and listen to me. Can you understand what I'm saying?
Huh? What are you saying all of a sudden? I can hear you clearly. What did you mean by you too?
When I try to question her, Yukiko's expression returns to normal. I can't tell anymore. She doesn't look like she's being controlled by someone. Am I overthinking this too much? At the very least, she doesn't seem enthusiastic about this P-1 Grand Prix.
This is probably a trick the enemy is playing on us. They're trying to get us to fight each other. I'll say it one more time, Yukiko. I'd like you to protect this girl for me.
Sorry, but I don't know how to put this. It just feels like you're being really selfish. You always help people who have nothing to do with you, and I admire that. But where does that leave us? It's always your friends who get put in danger because of your self-centeredness.
I'm used to hearing her voice, but her words are scathing. I'm convinced now. There's no obvious change in her attitude like there had been with Yosuke, but something must be warping Yukiko's words too. Her words may seem like a sound argument, but she means something else. I don't care if someone who isn't related to me gets hurt. That's definitely not something Yukiko would say. The real Yukiko would never say something that disrespects the value of a life that way. Don't be deluded. Whatever happened to Yosuke is happening to Yukiko too. I don't understand the details, but Yukiko hasn't had a complete change of heart.
Yukiko.
What the? You can?
When I draw my sword, Miss President quickly tries to stop me, but I can't answer her right now. If a battle will clear up this pointless misunderstanding between us, then the time to fight is now.
Ooh, now that's our senpai. You'll show no mercy, not even to a girl if it's for your own goals. You're a real bastard with a sister complex. Keep it up and bring them all down.
It's a really funny line. I like that line. I ignore the taunts being delivered in Risei's voice. Even if our words aren't getting through to each other and we have to fight without understanding what's going on, we'll come to an understanding later. I have to believe. Both myself and my friends. I hold my sword to the side to protect Miss President, who is standing behind me.
Sorry, but you need to stay back. Whatever you see here, try to stay calm. Promise me you won't run away.
What happens next will probably surprise her greatly, but I doubt Miss President will run away. She's already shown me how strong her determination is. I glance at her over my shoulder. Although she looks worried, she still gives me a slight nod of agreement. Now, time to do this. I must end this as quickly as possible.
Persona.
I concentrate all my senses to summon my strength of the heart. My persona, Izanagi. If I allow myself to go easy on Yukiko, she will surely defeat me. Yukiko smiles faintly and takes her battle stance. She resisted the idea of protecting Miss President, but she seems to have no qualms whatsoever about fighting me. There's definitely something controlling her.
Come, Konohana Sakuya.
Yukiko's black hair forms graceful arcs in the air as her persona, Konohana Sakuya, rises behind her. That's right. The usual Yukiko should have a beautiful heart like this. Wait for me. I will save you. Alright, let's do it. We're gonna beat the crap out of Yukiko now. We're gonna absolutely wipe the floor. Oh shit. There we go. Saving.
The winner is you, Senpai! What an utter thrashing!
I love all this animosity! These cocky, self-righteous friends showing how they really feel by beating the crap out of each other. That's the real thrill of the P-1 Grand Prix!
I don't care to hear any more of Teddy's jests. I still have reservations about fighting against my friends, but I now know that there is no other way to save them. I'm resolved to do what must be done. Also, there's no knowing if Teddy and Rise have been affected just like Yosuke and Yukiko had. If they are, then there's no use in trying to talk to them through the monitor like this. That's the conclusion I've come to, but Miss President seems to have other ideas.
How much further are you gonna push this? Why are you doing it anyway? These guys are friends! What's so much fun about making friends fight each other?
Miss President vents her frustration at Teddy's image on the monitor. I was a bit surprised at how she worded it. She seemed more upset that he was making friends fight each other, not why he had dragged the entire school into this mess. We've only just met, but she clearly sympathizes with us and understands the pain we're going through. I'm embarrassed, but proud at the same time. A girl with such compassion would be a great student council president. It's no wonder why she was elected to represent the student body of Yasagami High.
It's alright. Thanks, though.
It's not alright! This is...
She's still worked up and she lashes out at me. Perhaps her heart is a little too honest. But her anger sets my mind at ease. She's right. What General Teddy is doing right now cannot be forgiven. I glare at the monitor.
Sorry, but you're not getting your wish.
What?
Did you think this would be all it took to break us apart? That it would make us hate each other? Sorry to say, but that's a huge mistake on your part. I believe in my friends. They'll never get taken in like that.
You're so stupid! What kind of sensei are you?
I'm warning you now. If you really are Teddy, then we'll get you back to normal no matter what it takes. Even if it costs us our lives. But if you're an imposter, hiding behind Teddy's face...
I wish I had my Among Us plush on my desk right now, because I totally would have just held it up as a funny little moment, because it said imposter. Sus.
I will make you pay for toying with us.
Teddy scoffs and turns around. The monitor suddenly switches off. Suddenly turning on us without any signs of remorse. That's not like Teddy at all. No, he's most likely not the real Teddy. Seeing the anger in his face only strengthens my suspicions. Someone must be taking Teddy's form to make it look like he's the one committing these acts.
That girl's come around.
I immediately rush to Yukiko's side. I don't know. Are you alright?
Yukiko, are you alright? I'm sorry I couldn't go easy on you.
No, it's okay. You aren't your usual self, but I could tell by your eyes that there was something going on. I'm sorry too. Did I hurt you?
Kinda, yeah. I sure wouldn't want to get into it with you again.
I try to pass it off as a joke and we look at each other and laugh. Things are going the same way as they had with Yosuke. It's becoming clear now.
Hey, did I say things that offended you earlier?
Yes. You did.
Yukiko hesitates as if remembering it is a difficult experience. What in the world did my illusion say to her? I bet it was something horrible. Whoever's doing this is certainly finding the most annoying way of getting us to fight. But what I supposedly said to her doesn't matter. Yukiko is still hesitant to bring it up, so I tell her not to worry about it.
I don't need to know what I said. I just wanted to see if my guess was right. It looks like our enemy has the power to confuse our senses. My first opponent was Yosuke, and he told me a similar story after we fought.
Huh? You said something bad to Yosuke-kun too? What did you tell him?
You sure you want to know?
If I'm the only one admitting to what happened, that's not fair, is it? But that curiosity is in line with the Yukiko I know. I evade the issue with a smile and call out to Miss President, who's standing behind us.
What kind of people are you? Hmm? Oh, right. We used our personas.
Yeah, we should at least explain to her what's going on.
She did see everything that just had happened. This would be a good opportunity to tell her everything. I introduce Miss President and Yukiko to each other and fill in the parts that I had left out of my previous explanation. I tell her about the personas. I tell her that we're actually in a world inside television. And I tell her how the scenery here changes according to the hearts of the people who enter it. She looks doubtful while I'm talking, but considering that she's just seen our personas only moments ago, she doesn't immediately deny it. Still, it seems that she can't accept it all either. She crosses her arms as if lost in thought. On the other hand, it seems that Yukiko didn't know that Yasogami High had a new student council president either. Yukiko apologizes for not having paid attention to the elections in April.
And that's it in a nutshell.
So, that's what you meant by falling into a TV.
Yeah, which makes me believe this school could be a part of your mind that's materialized.
This school came from me? That's a lot to swallow. I'm not surprised. Why is it different this time around, though? Usually the victim's shadow appears first.
That's right, I had doubts about that too. There's a reason why it's dangerous for people who can't use their personas to enter this world. Besides the obvious reasons, such as not being able to escape and being unable to protect themselves from shadows, a person's shadow separates from them. The shadows that split off are strongly attached to the original people they came from, and will try to harm them in order to become independent identities. I hadn't given it much thought since Miss President seems so energetic, but it's still possible that this has happened to her as well. I put this together with the conversation I had with Teddy a moment ago, and come to a conclusion.
The Teddy who's hosting this tournament, what if he's actually this girl's shadow?
Huh?
I noticed he got agitated when I called him an imposter. A fake Teddy would mean he's someone else using Teddy's form.
I see. If this place reflects Miss President's heart, her shadow must be here. And right now, the strongest candidate is...
That's right. If we both saw an illusion, then at the very least, the enemy has the power to delude our senses and make us see and hear things that aren't there. On top of that, it can alter what others hear and say. Ugh, I can't read correctly. It can alter what others hear us say and see us do. If it can do that, then I can easily see that our enemy can use that power to change its appearance. That means it could be impersonating Teddy and leading this tournament. That still leaves the question as to why it would take on the appearance of someone it doesn't know. I've seen shadows in the past that took on bizarre appearances, but this is the first time I've seen one impersonate an existing person. Does this shadow have some kind of objective? When I come to my senses, I see that Miss President has turned pale and is staring down at the ground. All this talk of shadows and another world doesn't seem to be reaching her, but she seems troubled at the thought that she might be causing all this trouble. I'm about to tell her that the actions of her shadow aren't her fault. But Miss President rises to her feet.
I'm gonna check out the announcement room. That General Teddy's behind the whole shebang, right? And if he came from me, then I gotta own up to the responsibility. A student body president, I can't let this go.
Wait, you're being reckless. We'll take care of the shadow. You need to...
What? Get out of this TV world? And how am I supposed to do that? Go on. Show me the door.
Well...
Her eyes are filled with the fires of determination, just as they had been when I first met her. Her sense of responsibility and her awareness of her duty say that she will never back down.
Little cousin's in the announcement room, and you're gonna go save her, right? I might not be as strong as the two of you, but I'm no slouch in a fight. Wouldn't it be better if we went together?
No, don't you understand? This world is...
I know it's dangerous, but there's gotta be something only I can do to help. Hell, that aside, I can't leave after causing so much trouble. Making friends fight each other. I'm going on ahead. You don't want to waste time arguing, yeah?
Miss President declares this in a voice that brooks no argument and takes off running. Yikes, I wasn't expecting her to behave rashly like this. I remember how fast she can run. If I'm going to go after her, I need to go at once or I'll lose her.
Please, you have to go after her.
Yukiko sees me hesitate and knows exactly what to say. She's right. There's so much we don't understand, but there's no way the investigation team can let a victim run off to die. Yukiko ignores the fact that I'd be leaving her here alone, and tells me to follow a girl she's only just met. This is the exact opposite of the behavior she had been displaying before the fight. Now that's the Yukiko Amagi I know. I'm ashamed that I had even slightly let myself be confused by the way I had heard her speak before, and I answer her. Thank you.
Don't worry about me. I believe in you.
Yukiko nods to me, and I turn to and begin running as fast as I can. I have to rely on the faint echoes of footsteps ahead to pursue Miss President through the school. I can't use my memories of the school in order to navigate, because the invisible walls are everywhere, but the announcement room is upstairs. That obviously limits the paths that she can take. I will catch up with her, no matter what. I've been running after Miss President for a while, but I still can't catch any sight of her. She's so fast, it's almost supernatural. I even begin to think that her path may not be hindered by the invisible walls. Wait a second. Now that I think about it, she's not a participant in the P-1 Grand Prix. She didn't appear in the introduction video, and even though she'd been there when I faced off with Yukiko, she wasn't affected by the rules. Could she be able to walk through these walls? If so, then catching up to her will be quite difficult. Just as I'm thinking this, suddenly a blue door appears in my path. I've seen this before. This is the entrance to the Velvet Room. I don't have time to deal with this, or so I think, but when I consider the timing of its appearance, I can't help but feel that there must be a reason for it. I make up my mind and reach for the door. As I walk through the door, I feel a slight sense of lightheadedness and close my eyes reflexively. When I open my eyes, I'm seated in my usual position, and Margaret is smiling quietly at me, as if nothing is different. When she sees that I've noticed her, she speaks as if aware of my impatience.
You seem flustered, but time has no meaning here.
Margaret politely points this out, knowing that I'm in a hurry. Time is meaningless, huh? I thought I had figured out a few things about this room, but it seems that there's still more for me to learn about it. If time doesn't pass while I'm in this room, then I should concentrate on what she's about to tell me. Once again, as if she's reading my thoughts, Margaret smiles.
It seems you've emerged victorious and have come away with a piece of the truth. Though you are in a garden of deceit, you have the vision to go forward. Very impressive.
Is that student council president's shadow really the cause of all this, then?
Who can say? All I know is that you are getting ever closer to the truth. There is one thing I can tell you.
Margaret's golden eyes are fixed on mine.
If that girl's shadow is the cause of this misfortune, she will face her trial. But it's separate from your fate. You have your own trial to overcome. Keep that to heart.
My own trial?
I don't mean to, but I repeat what Margaret had just said.
Everyone sees various things in you that draw them to you. Salvation, hope. I myself find fascination in watching over you. Fate may not be the author of your trials, but you are destined to be tested.
Margaret smiles mischievously and nods toward me. There's a little bug on my laptop. I don't see it anymore, but it was there. It was like a little fruit fly or something. Another slight feeling of lightheadedness passes, and I return to that otherworldly school. The blue door is nowhere to be found, as if it had never been there to begin with. I look up. I still don't understand what my own trial is supposed to be. But for some reason, my mind has cleared up a bit. Alright, this is me making a decision. Do I keep going? Or do I go to sleep because it is midnight now and I am tired? And I have to actually wake up tomorrow. I don't have to wake up super early, but I do have to be awake. Let me think. Let me think for a second. Okay, yeah. Thinking about it, I should probably go to bed because if I want to get 8 hours of sleep, I would need to be asleep like right now. And I'm not. So, yeah. Anyway, I think we're going to leave it here. We'll come back to this at some later point, continue this story. Yeah. I think we'll just leave it here. I'm scared. I guess there's only one way to find out if it saves it, is to try and load it. I'm gonna find that out while I'm still on stream and video. We'll see. Oh, Lord. How do I... How do I load the bookmark? Oh, it's triangle on this screen. There it is. We figured it out. Okay, that's all I wanted to know. We have it. We have it. It's good. If we didn't, I was going to lose my absolute mind, because I'd have to skip through the entire thing up until that point. But we will continue from there the next time I play this, and do story, which might not necessarily be the same. But, yeah, I stream this game fairly frequently if you're watching this on YouTube, which most people probably will be. End up seeing this in the future. Or maybe not. But as of right now, I'm streaming this game somewhat frequently. Like maybe once or twice a week or something like that. So, yeah. Yeah, if you want to see me stream this, maybe hop over to my Twitch. Links are in the description if you're watching on YouTube, and if you're on Twitch, well, you're already here, so. Anyway, bye for now. Peace out, guys. I'll see you next time. Bye.